Oh, hi. It's me, Julie Kim. Welcome back. It's Wednesday. We're back with another episode of Bothered, my little podcast. Maybe you can relate to this story. Have you ever had somebody in your home who you have paid to be there? That's right. A prostitute. Just kidding. Not a prostitute. But like a service person, a mover, a repairman, a handyman, something like that. Or a cleaner, and they have said something and stepped over the line. This has actually happened to me a number of times, and I'll share some of those other times, but the main story is one that maybe you can relate to. Hope you enjoy. Hello, it's me, Julie Kim. Welcome to Bothered, my little podcast about being bothered. Every week I share short stories.
Living like this, I might lose it.
They're mostly real situations that have happened to me. You wouldn't believe some of them, or maybe you would. Maybe you can relate.
Living like this, I might lose it.
My husband is not a handy person. He does not drill holes. He does not fix light bulbs. He does not do anything with his hands except masturbate. He has other strengths. So, as a result, I have to hire people to come in to our place to do things. I have hired people to assemble IKEA furniture, everybody. Yes, the same furniture that's supposed to be like so easy to do. He can't do it, okay? He can't do it or he doesn't want to do it. And if I ask him to do it, he'll just say no. And then it'll frustrate me. And then we'll fight and eventually divorce. So I've decided that the easiest way to exist with my husband is to not ask him to do things that are typically characterized as manly things. And guess what? So little does he care about being seen as a man that he is not even threatened when I call in a repair person or a handyman. Like, I have friends, and when they want to get something done, their husband will like do it, but after a while, and the thing that'll help them do it faster is if they say, oh, I guess I'll just call the handyman or the repairman. And then the husband will be like, no, I'm a man. I can do it for you. And then they will do it. I do not have that experience. So I have, without any resistance at all, brought in many men into our home to do various things. And so in this example, this is actually a fairly recent example, we had a man come in. And let me tell you, my preference is not to have a man. It's just that there's a lot more out there on TaskRabbit, which we've gone to, and other like sites where we've gone to like find people, or sometimes where you live, your building or whatever has, their dedicated or certified people. So anyways, we had this man in our home and he's doing a thing. Okay. And he's brought his son, who is, I guess, like college age or something like that, to help or to apprentice or whatever. And so they're there doing a thing. And it was, I think, a pro D day for my daughter. So my daughter was also home, my daughter being like small, like single digits small. And they were, we like to kind of be friendly. We offer, a drink or whatever. And then the kid was saying something about school. And I said, oh, what school program are you in? He goes, well, I'm not in a school program anymore. I dropped out. No judgment from me at all, right? That just means the conversation gets to be over. I'm just kidding. But I said, oh, okay. And then his dad, the main person that we paid, just looked over to me. My daughter was there as well. And he goes, yeah, you don't need school. Who needs school? This really bothered me, okay? This really bothered me because my very small child, who's just like learning how to do a lot of kinds of math and advanced reading and things, is there. This is completely antithetical to everything that my husband and I have been telling her, which is that like she needs to sit down and fucking read and write, and there's value in all of these things. And then a fucking man who we're paying comes into our home and knows he's saying it in front of our child. You don't need school. Really fucking pissed me off so much. I get it. If you don't think school is important, this guy didn't go to school. That's cool. He's in a trade. That's also a very lucrative thing that people can do to be very successful. That's awesome. That skill set does not run in our family, as I mentioned before. Okay, my daughter's not going to become a plumber or a repair person, not because we value it as lower, just because she's not going to be good at this stuff if her dad is any indication. Okay, so my My husband is not Asian. And I only mention that because some of you are listening and being like, of course, the Asian people are telling their kid that school is important. And it's not like we're fucking forcing her to like think about Harvard right now. Okay. She's a young child in elementary school. She's in her primary care years. We're not about to tell her at this point in her life that school is not important. At this point in her life, we're going to say, what's important is listening to whatever the fuck we say and whatever your teachers say, okay? It is not legal for her not to be in school. So she's in school, and while she's there, it's easiest for everybody involved, including the educational system, if she thinks it is of some value. So I do not appreciate a man coming in and just saying in front of my daughter that school is not important. And I get why he was saying it. I mean, I'm sure he was trying to say, don't worry about it, kid. My own son who just dropped out of school, it's okay. Maybe you don't need it for where you're going. And some parents like to reflect back on their children, like what they did. So this man didn't go to school. He's telling his child, yeah, it's fine. You'll be fine. I'm fine. That's fine. That's your fucking business, okay? Because if I really wanted to, I could have said, actually, I find school to have been highly valuable in my life when I graduated. My friends and I actually did very well, and we had a lot of opportunities with extended benefits and pensions and fairly high salaries. And I would say that my education, however degrees you want to count, because I do have multiple degrees, was beneficial to me. I didn't say any of that shit. You know why? Because I don't think it's my business to say to somebody else's child, even indirectly, if he is a secondary listener of what I'm saying, that anything like education, something important like education, is not of value. And this is not just about education. It's not that I believe you entirely need an education to be successful. I mean, there's never been a bigger time for entrepreneurs and creatives and things like that. In fact, like I would tell my daughter, go to a good university and drop out. That is the key to being a millionaire these days, I guess. But like, fuck, I don't know where the world is going with AI and social media and like whatever other advanced technologies are out there. We just don't know. But I will say when she's in primary school, it's a safe bet to focus on the only thing that you're doing in your life besides being at home. So that's, kind of important. And that really bothered me. My response, as I mentioned, was to say fucking nothing to this man because he was, I don't know, fixing our wall or assembling some furniture or something like that. It could have been anything because, as I mentioned before, my husband does not do that shit. And you might be thinking, why don't you do it, Julie? Well, I do it, okay? I've hung a lot of things on these walls that are crooked right now, and at least I try. I don't believe in a level. I used a level app one time, but it didn't have any ratings, but it was free. But listen. Oh, it just really bothered me. I feel like telling somebody else's kid that education isn't important is the same as like telling someone's kid that, you know what, vegetarianism is stupid. The animals, they're dead anyways. Like, I would never say that to somebody, or I would never say like, don't worry about the environment. It's going to be fine as long as we're living here. We can still breathe. You don't say shit like that. I do know that I know a number of people who have kids and didn't do anything as far as further education goes. And the ones that are the most ignorant, the two men that I know that do this, have said openly to their kids, like, don't worry, you don't need it. But I feel like they have done it because they don't want their kids to look badly on them. Whereas I really want my daughter to do a lot more than I did. I want her to go further. I want her to go to better schools. I want her to have like a shit ton of opportunities. And I would have no problem saying, don't do what I did. Right? Don't stay at home. Don't stay in Canada. I'm not saying that I would say these things, but I would say, don't make my mistakes. You can go further. I didn't realize that I had this potential, but you do, and we will help you and all that kind of shit. But some people want to save face and their ego leads, even when it comes to their own kids. And like, whatever. That's fine. You can do that if you want, but you can't fucking do it to my kid. So this person has never been back to our home. No, after he fixed that thing, I don't know, he saw something on my wall or whatever, and he found out I was a comedian. So he followed me on social media, and then he would send me a bunch of posts and messages and shit like that, which I put into the general folder and then muted because we're not friends, okay? And we're especially never fucking going to be friends if you tell my kid that she doesn't need an education. And then I'm just like fighting the fucking message that you are telling my child for no fucking reason. I paid this man. I paid him. I didn't tip him. Are you supposed to tip your repair people? I don't think so. There was no option to tip. Anyways, I paid this man. I gave his son an opportunity to apprentice in my home, even though I really don't like an extra person in my home for like no fucking reason, especially like two men. But anyways, my husband was home. He was, I don't know, maybe he was napping in the room while useful men were putting some furniture together. Anyways, I paid. He left. He has never come back because he's not welcome back in my fucking home. It's not that I hold a grudge. I don't want that energy in here. And I don't want someone with such little common sense that he thinks he can say that to my kid in front of my kid. God. Oh, God. So we haven't even had a repair person in for a long time, even though we have some things that are broken. I'm looking at one of them right now. Has this made my husband step up and fix things? Absolutely fucking not. No, we just live among the creaky things. You might hear some creaking right now. It's the chair that I'm sitting on. I bought some WD-40 once. He thought it was olive oil. He tried to cook with it. Okay. It's not happening. So I just want to ask, what would you do? I mean, am I being unreasonable? Would you be angry? Would you not hire this person again? And also, do you know anybody who can repair things for me? Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. We will be back next Wednesday with another episode of Bothered. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and subscribe. I don't know. Write me also at bothered@juliekimcomedy.com. We are everywhere. We're a video podcast. We're an audio podcast. And anyways, I will also be in Philadelphia on December the 11th at Helium Comedy Club. And then before that, December 4th at West Nyack Levity Live. It's my first time in both of those cities, so I'm very, very excited. And there's more things coming, including an Elevated season 2 of Bothered and some more live shows. I'm very excited, and thank you, everybody. I'm grateful that you're here.
Living like this, I might lose it.